All right, happy Friday. Y'all made it. I'm gonna be doing. I have two fans. I have an air conditioner here, and I got this little mini fan I got off the TikTok shop that is absolutely amazing. Before we get into the serious stuff, I went out shopping this morning. I had some errands to run and whatnot, and I had to go to the dollar store. My mother needed a few things, so I told her I'll go there and get your stuff for you. And they were putting out their Halloween stuff at the end of July. But you know me. Hey, Melly, how are you? You know me. I'm a sucker for Halloween stuff. So everything I bought cost me like between $1.25 and $1.50. So I always wanted one, so I bought myself a little witchy snow globe for $1.50. So I got myself a little snow globe, and then I bought the. I'm gonna go back and get more. I didn't like the orange, so but I did get the black and the purple. These are glass jars, glass bottles. Make sure you guys can hear me and the volume's up. And so I'll probably be using these for my moon water, especially when the next black moon comes around. I'll be using that. And last but not least, I had to get some black bleeding candles. Good stuff. So, yeah, I went on a little Halloween haul. Not a whole lot. What did I get? One, two, three, four, 5 items. But I'm a sucker for Halloween. All right, let's get to it. It is hot as hell here. So bear with me because I have my little cloth to wipe all the sweat off. Okay. Oh, so much fun Halloween things. Yes, they're out. I live Walmart's right next door in my town to the Dollar Tree. So I went to Walmart too, and they were starting. I think it's a consumer thing. Every store knows to put out their stuff. So Walmart was putting out their Halloween stuff as well, and then another person in the store was telling me, "Oh yeah, Costco has theirs out as well." So I think all stores are putting it out. America should just admit that we are a country. Yes, very true. Some more than others. You know what I mean? But we're going to have a serious discussion. Now, I already posted this for my Patreons, and they got all 37 predictions. Now, I tried to give you guys as many as I could for free, but I limited it to 7. I made it so that you got at least 13, 14% of those predictions. All the rest will um, stay private for Patreon. You can join for $5 a month and get it all. I'm trying to figure out. Patreon used to have a way of letting people pay for newsletters instead of just joining. I'm trying to figure out. For some reason, they've gotten rid of that option because they constantly change things on me, which really pisses me off because once I get used to something, it changes again. So I'm trying to figure that out. But until then, I'm going to do the freebie for all of you. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I don't know about any of you, but it has been one of the craziest 18 months I've ever experienced probably in my lifetime. Not my personal life, but just everything going on outside my doors, politically, geopolitical, financially. It's insane. Um, and I have never seen, as an astrologer, many things that have taken place within the past year. Every 18 months, the universal dragon energy shifts, and we call this the changing of the guards. Modern astrology doesn't pay much attention to these nodal shifts. Vedic, which is run on the sidereal method, Babylonian, Occidental or Chinese astrology, Draconian, which is not practiced much anymore. I actually can run Draconian on my own software. And Divine, which is the Nostradamus method, are really the only methods of astrology that really pay any attention to the North and the South nodes and their housing systems. So let's start with Vedic. In Vedic astrology, astronomically, Rahu and Ketu denote the points of intersection of the paths of the sun and the moon as they move on the celestial sphere. Therefore, Rahu and Ketu are respectively called the north and the south nodes of the moon, and Rahu is responsible for causing the eclipse of the sun. So, and you can, this was a Google search. I'm not a Vedic astrologer, but I decided to put this information in because I think it's important. Now, Nostradamus was able to create astrological predictions by incorporating a couple of ancient methods of astrology to work very well under the tropical zodiac. So he took Draconian methods, which represent the soul's purpose in life. He mixed them with the teachings of the dragon energy of Chinese astrology, and he used the ancient Babylonian method and power of the dragon's placement to see into the future of how all these energies are going to affect mankind by house, sign, and even with some degrees. Now, on January either 12th or 13th, 2025, wherever you were in the world, the universal dragon shifted once again into a Pisces Virgo axis, and this was a feminine water dragon of Pisces, and it rules the 12th house of the deep subconscious mind, mystery, illusions, delusions, a strong connection to higher spirit, and escapism. And on a side note, this is also religious fanatics, as we are seeing now within our politics and within the world at large. Now, Pisces is a karmic sign ruled by the elusive planet of Neptune, which is watery, it's dreamy, it's mystical, it's deceiving, and once again, it is karmic. Pisces rules the feet, it rules podiatry, music, water, oceans, beaches, maritime, sailing, it rules the navy, floods, sea levels rising, it rules religion, oil, gas, addictions, alcohol, drugs, depression, poisoning, diseases. Before I go on, this whole outbreak with the food, that's poisoning, diseases. The last breath of the Pisces dragon is rearing itself. It won't be going quietly, but the other one, I could see it moving in, and that one's going to be crazy. The Middle East, it rules the Middle East. Just think of where all three religions came from. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Middle East. Pisces rules the Vatican, it rules the Pope. And on a side note here, because you can go to my Patreon now for free and see this last dragon and all its predictions of what has taken place with floodings and whatnot. Where was I? But one of the first things that took place 18 months ago when this dragon first started, and it was one of my first predictions that came true, was that the Pope would die. And he did. I mean, like weeks in. I never posted so early on my predictions like I did 18 months ago. I'm like, holy cow. They're coming quick, fast and furious. So there's that, but it also rules the pharmaceutical companies. It rules jails, prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, synagogues, churches, cathedrals, mosques, temples. It rules exotic lands, but it also rules gurus, cults. And on a more positive side, Pisces can rule mysticism. This symbol, the fish, remember the fish was chosen subconsciously by the Christians to represent their doctrine and the piousness of all religions in general, the fish. Now, the dragon's tail has been sitting, which is an earth energy, and it represents the sixth house. It has been sitting in Virgo. And so this is the house of health and employment. And Virgo is all about better health. It's about diet. It's textiles, cleanliness. It's hardworking. It's analytical. It's organization, nature, intellect, sarcastic, excellent communication skills. It's perfectionism. It rules the intestines and the bowels. It's the rainforest. It represents the Netherlands and earth movement. When it's on its tail, it can be quite the opposite. So I use this as an example. This isn't in the newsletter, but I'm going to use it as an example. Think of these data centers and what they're going to do to the environment. Okay. Virgo is technically the environmental vixen of the zodiac. She's green. She's pure. She cares about the planet. She cares about cleanliness. But when its tail's sitting there, it's the opposite. So with all these data centers going in, this is a detriment to our planet, and it depletes us of our water. Remember, water is life. Our native brothers and sisters, 100% correct. Water is life. Okay. So it is quite the opposite. And I just heard, I don't think it was from that Aaron Parnas kid on TikTok about how Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos want to put I don't know if it was data centers. They want to do something with these centers in space, which will hurt the ozone layer. Okay, these billionaires are out of control. I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Are you crazy? So that's where we're at right now, and that makes perfect sense with the tail being in Virgo. Now, before I go on, just want to make sure. Okay, so moving on. Now, the United States has felt this energy right on its ninth house, okay, which is Pisces. And it has been all about morals and ethics. However, what one person's morals and ethics are can be entirely different from somebody else's, okay? But it's puritanical energy. It's the imposing of one's religious beliefs on others. And remember, ninth house is higher knowledge, morals and ethics. It's religion, laws, courts, justice, the animal kingdom, and the indigenous world. So with the dragon's head sitting there, Pisces is we are like, I used to say we were in a paradigm shift. Well, we're moving. We are on we're on a civilization reset right now. Okay, the paradigm, we're moving right on into the age of Aquarius. And Pisces energy, the age of Pisces is dying. And you could see that by all these politicians interjecting their religious beliefs and not separating church from state, things like that. That makes perfect sense. But it is about imposing one's religious beliefs on others. And like I said, it rules the laws. It rules courts and judges, which is our Supreme Court. And you've seen all these judges in court and whatnot. It rules foreign lands, other cultures, long distance travel, and even higher knowledge. Now, laws have and still are being imposed that violate constitutional laws and rights. I don't want to say too much on here. There's things I say on my Patreon that I don't say on here. But we are getting ready to, if the Senate approves it, we're merging our military with another countries. Go look that up. Just go look that up. I won't say any more. But it's a violation of the Constitution, and it's going to be met with revolutionary disdain. If you live in one of those states that's a stand your ground state, stand your ground. Capiche? That's all I'm going to say. Now, the dragon's tail has been on the United States' third house of communication, transportation, friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters, or siblings, or in this case, alliances with other countries, because I'm talking about a country, not a human being. So this also rules mental clarity. It rules, or lack thereof in this case, along with short trips. Now, I say this because Americans are going to get banned from traveling to certain countries. We're already seeing it in the news about certain people or people that are in like far left groups are going to have a travel ban put on them. And we will begin to lose alliances and friendships. This has happened. We stand alone. There will be many catastrophic events with weather, earthquakes, and eruptions. And this can happen on a global level too, as it will not only be the United States that feels this energy, but also those countries that are ruled by Virgo or Pisces energy will feel it the most. And, it's kind of hard to pinpoint all of those energies, but I know California takes on two energies. And technically, it's native land. All of the United States is, but it's Sagittarian energy. But in 1850, when it became a state, it fell under Virgo energy. So it has, what is it, September 9th, 1850. So it's kind of a Virgo state, and it makes sense. When you think of California, it was the first state that banned smoking in restaurants, and they've got all these weird laws about the environment. That makes perfect sense to me as the astrologer, I guess. However, on July 26th, the universal dragon will shift once again into an Aquarius Leo axis, where it stays until about March 26th, 2028. Now, what does this mean for the world at large? And to be honest, I'm not going to enjoy bringing any of this news to you because the world at large is in some serious, it is in for some serious issues on a global level. Aquarius is all about universal love. It's brotherly love. It's humanitarianism. It's friendship. It's science. It's discovery. It's astrology. It's wishes. It's social causes and progressive changes. There's also another word that it is, and I believe I didn't put it in the newsletter. It's revolutionary. You notice me say that word a lot because I think it's coming. I think it's coming. This sign is ruled by Uranus and the planet of sudden release of energy, shocking news, earth changes, weather, electricity, earthquakes, eruptions, explosions, and other shocking news. What we are about to witness in these next 18 months will be unbelievable. They're going to be shocking. They're going to be scary, but they're also going to be exciting. All wrapped up into one. I mean, our emotions are going to be like up and down for the next 18 months. It is going to be quite a roller coaster ride, okay? Now, the dragon's tail, south node, will be in Leo, and this rules the 5th house. However, for the United States, it rules its 2nd house. When it's on its south node, I wish I had, do I have it? Hold on. Wait. I don't. I thought I had the wheel for the United States so I could give you a visual, but I'll explain it the best I can. However, when it's on the south node, it becomes the opposite, and it can be quite deadly. So This energy is ruled by the sun, and the intensity of the sun will bring solar flares. It's going to bring electromagnetic storms. It's going to cause disruptions. It brings fires, tragedies with children, and insane heat waves worldwide. This energy also rules Italy, France, and the dragon's head in Aquarius rules Asia. So expect news from these countries and continents in the next 18 months. Um, I'm trying to think if I should say anything now or later about what I've discovered. United States. Cancer Nation, I said dragon head in Leo, tail in Aquarius. The tail in Aquarius sits on the United States' eighth house. This is why, in Aquarius, our own government. I mean, why are we so, this is on a side note. This isn't in my newsletter. I'm going off on a tangent now. Why are we so gung-ho on disclosure all of a sudden? You notice that? Because looking at the United States' stars, they're as secretive as AF, okay? And with that tail sitting in the eighth house in Aquarius, we are the first nation to use nukes. And this might be hard for some of you to believe, or a bitter pill to swallow, or you might go, that bitch got her tinfoil hat on again. But there are certain alien races in our secret government, not the government you see with Rubio and Mitch McConnell and Trump, Hexit. No, there's a darker, more secret government behind them. And some of these members don't even know it. But back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, even in the 80s, when a lot of these abductions were happening, unfortunately, it was our own government doing it, because a lot of our government, secret government, are not human. And back in the 50s, they had the opportunity to infiltrate themselves into our government with certain deals with certain former presidents. Not very many presidents are privy to the secret government information. There was only a few. I think George W. Bush was one of them. I certainly don't think they're giving that info to Donald Trump, Mr. Loose Lips, blab it out kind of stuff. I didn't really inform him, Obama or Clinton either. But there were a couple of presidents back in the day that were very involved. Truman started it. Eisenhower pretty much erected it. Nixon was aware of it completely. And there's a story about Nixon, who was best friends with, I should know this because it's an old actor from the 70s. Oh my God. Nixon was best friends with him. I should know this because I have a relative that's related to him. I'm not, but he is. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason. And Nixon took Jackie Gleason into one of these hangars and showed him alien bodies. So with me looking at the stars of the United States, absolutely 100% believable that our government has been hiding this for a long, long time. And that's why I love Dr. Stephen Greer, because that man has taught me how to identify in the sky the difference between a spaceship that is built, or an aircraft or a UAP that is literally built with alien technology, compared to UAP that is built by Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, whatever. I'm very grateful and thankful for his knowledge in teaching us that. Very grateful. Moving on. Go check the chat, make sure no one else has joined. Oh, wow. Celtic Hex, hey! We've got Lisa and Mystical World. Hey, 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 hey! How are you, ladies? Yeah. George Sr., yes. Herbert Walker, right? Herbert Walker Bush. He very much had alien UFO intelligence going on, and knew what was going on for sure. Just want to make sure I caught everybody. All right. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any gentlemen in here. Moving on. So the United States will receive this energy in its 8th house of death, drama, rebirth, and transformation. Now, the dragon head will sit on it now. Even though natally it's born with the tail there, the head sits on it. This gives me a little bit of hope, not much, just a little bit, that people are going to go, fuck this shit, we're not doing this. And there you go, the people revolt. But it is going to be sitting right there on that 8th house, and that is the house of death, drama, rebirth, and transformation. So this country is transforming. It's up to each and every one of us as Americans to make sure it transforms into a better tomorrow. Because every time I think of this, I almost start to cry. But my daughters said this to me 3 days ago. They said to me, I have no faith or hope in the world, and I know for a fact that me and my sister won't live past 50. I feel horrible when I hear my kids and my kids' generation saying shit like that. Anyway, I told her to have hope, have a little faith. It's easier said than done. It's easier said than done, but strength in numbers. And remember, Aquarius Dragonhead is all about the people and power to the people. It's humanitarianism. So I have a little hope, even though my kids don't. The USA also has a dragon natally stationed on the 8th. I just explained this and yada, yada, yada. But perhaps this is why this country has been so dishonest once again with the extraterrestrial information and disclosure. Things are about to change, my friends, in a big way. And this is also the year Mother Nature stretches herself and says, I've had enough of this shit. Now I'm going to teach you a lesson. So Mother Earth is going to rear herself. I'm on Mother Earth's side, even though I'm on this planet. She's going to stretch herself in ways we have never, ever seen before. States, which is wealth, money, finance, and self-esteem. We are no longer the kings of the world. When you have a dragon's head in the 2nd house, like the United States does, even though the United States is a Cancer nation, we're the kings. We're always on the top. We're at the top of the food chain. Not no more when not. And American people will struggle financially as we move from a recession into a depression, possibly. Hope not. What I say are always possibilities. We as human beings have the power to change the course of things. Witches have even more power to change the course of things. Remember that. But it could go into a depression, and it could be a depression that was far worse than what my own grandparents experienced back in the 20s when they first came here from Italy. That's a possibility. So remember, everything I say are possibilities. If I am dead set on something, I will let you know and say with my whole chest out, this is going to happen. There's a few predictions I am going to tell you about in a minute. Corruption will be exposed, but a revolution is brewing, along with the threat of World War III and nukes. This could very well be my last newsletter on the changing of the guards. I hate to be a drama queen here, but our politicians, I've said this 2 weeks ago when I came on here, two Fridays ago, our politicians are that Hegseth guy. Fuck me, he's an idiot. I mean, he's just so cavalier about talking about nukes. You're going to make the planet uninhabitable. These people just don't get the concept. And I just am floored by it, because this could very well be, like I said, my very last newsletter on the dragon shift, because we may not be here in 18 months if the world keeps going the way it is. And like I said, this isn't to sound dramatic, but we are in a nuclear dragon. This isn't just a shocking air dragon. Uranus, what is Uranus's alchemy? Uranium. It's a nuclear dragon. And humanity can be wiped out with one push of a damn button. And it's a big wake-up call for humanity. So let's hope it's not too late. Now, I have something here on my newsletter. Like I said, you can go and read it on Patreon. It's there for free. And I just posted the video from the last dragon for free on YouTube. But just because a dragon is riding its head does not mean tragedy and sadness will not happen or occur. Most of the world has no cosmic consciousness and doesn't undergo rhythm days. Even the United States and Israel are all under a biorhythm day, negative and positive, okay? I'm not going to go over the eclipses because you could figure that out. We're going into eclipse season. I'll just cover this one real quick. We've got a solar eclipse on August 12th, and it is dignified. When I say it's dignified, it's in Leo. What does Leo rule? The sun, solar. So it's dignified. Very powerful solar eclipse on the 12th. Make some magic. Then we have a partial lunar eclipse on August 28th. That's in Pisces. And even though it's not coincident, the dragon will have already shifted, that Pisces energy will still linger a little bit. So it's just something to prepare for. And then in 2027, we have something very unusual. Please remember, every astrologer on this planet right now, I don't care if you're world famous or you're me, every astrologer on this planet is kind of pulling their hair out because there are things that are happening in the astrology world that have never, ever, ever happened in our lifetime for the last 14,000 years. So this is uncharted waters, even for the astrologer. So, for example, 2027, we have 1, 2, 3 lunar eclipses and 2 solars. It's very rare. So we have a solar eclipse on February 6th of 2027 in Aquarius. Then we have a penumbral lunar eclipse on February 20th in Virgo at 5 degrees. And then we have another lunar eclipse on July 18th at 25 degrees in Capricorn. And according to astronomers now, not astrologers, but astronomers, this is an almost eclipse. It's not really a full-blown eclipse. Then we have another solar eclipse next year, 2027, on August 2nd in Leo. And then another lunar eclipse on August 17th at 24 degrees in Aquarius. So what I'm going to say here is you're going to take a pen and a piece of paper, because I don't think I even did this from a Patreon. So you're going to want to jot down, where am I? I'm looking where is it? February 6th of 2027. That's going to be crazy. Explosions, fault lines coming to life. Jot that date down. The next one I would give warning to is going to be August 17th, 2027. When the eclipse goes, the lunar goes into Aquarius. Same scenario. Shocking news. I'll explain a little more in a minute. There's a date I'm going to give. It's actually a whole week's worth of August 22nd of this year through the 28th. I don't have my moon map with me. The 28th. 22nd through the 28th, I am very, very concerned about not just the United States getting attacked, but I'm also, it's one of my predictions, so let's just go right to it. Prediction number 2. The Trump family and the children are in danger because Persians believe in an eye for an eye. I've said this before. I don't think I've said it per se on this platform, but he's got 5 freaking kids, and I've got other readings to do, but I've only looked into 2 of the kids so far, and the one I'm worried about the most at the moment will be Eric Trump. I wrote this down. Eric Trump, born in January 1/6/1984 in New York City. He has a dragon's head in Gemini, the tail's in Sagittarius. The hidden dragon on his chart is in Virgo, and the tail is in Pisces. Tail in Pisces, issues with the Middle East. So he is and he has a critical degree of Neptune at 29 degrees. And Uranus is in his 6th house of health and service to the world. I have that placement too. But the dragon tail, it's going to be sitting on his death house. I'm January too. I got that tail going into my death house too. So, but I know how to maneuver between all those cosmic windows. I don't think he does. So something might happen to his children. Now, I've already seen on, oh God, what's that? It's an Indian news channel. My mother doesn't watch American news. She WION. It's news from India. She loves this channel on YouTube, so she watches it. And she was watching it 2 days ago, and there was these billboards all through Iran showing some of the Trump children, including Melania, dead. If that's not an omen, I don't know what is. Okay. So I've already looked at Eric Trump's, and he's in danger. Ivanka, I haven't looked at as closely, but it isn't good either. But after looking at her stars, I'm trying to find the right words to say here about her. She's really, really involved with the Zionist party. After looking at her stars, I'm like, this is like the lady who's going to bring in New World Order kind of shit. Like I said, I haven't looked deeply into her stars. He has 5 kids, so I've looked into Eric's, and I'm worried about him. I still have to look into Tiffany. I have to look into Trump Jr., which Donald Trump Jr. has a hidden dragon in Aquarius and Leo, and he is a December-born Capricorn. So his dragon tail is going to be sitting on his 9th house, and that is the house of morals and ethics. So you might hear in the news in the next 18 months about some shady shit he's doing with his business that's not ethical. It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's set in stone, but I still have to look up Tiffany Trump. I've got to go look at Melania's a little closer, and then I have to go look at Barron too, because my daughter's like, don't forget Barron. Like, oh yeah, I did. I forgot him. But these are some of my predictions for 2026, 2027, and the first 3 months of 2028. The Ring of Fire activates. Earthquakes, the West Coast, Japan, Italy, France, and all of Asia make headlines. I kept it kind of not vague, but after going back, I've got Virgo rising, so I'm my own worst critic. So after going back and looking at some of my older newsletters, I've noticed I've kind of made things a little more repetitive, and I tried not to do that this time, okay? because I critique and criticize my own work. So that is one prediction. You're going to see fault lines come to life. You're going to see volcanic eruptions, uh, possibly simultaneously. The Trump children, I said they're in danger. Number three, tragedy with children, trafficking exposure. I mean, come on. Leo, the dragon tails in Leo. What does Leo rule? Rules children, the heart, love, romance, creativity, joy, pleasure, sex. So that's going to get exposed. And unfortunately, with this whole Iran shit show, the youth of tomorrow are going to die in needless wars. Okay. Not all of them, but a great many of them. Um, a recession can become another Great Depression. I already talked about this. This was prediction 4. As the USA and the world sees a full financial collapse and a reset. Um, by 2030, we will be a cashless society. I pretty much see that coming. If there's even a planet left. I mean, I personally believe that by the year 2050, 90% of the population will be wiped out. I know that's a horrible statistic, but in reality, if we keep going on the path we are, that's what's going to happen. And that's why my daughter said what she said. I feel horrible for the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha generation right now. I really do. All right, number 5. Contact is made and the very fabric of mankind will be questioned. But this is also a deeper disclosure coming about UAPs, UFOs, and extraterrestrial life. Like I said, we're not alone, never have been. I would almost consider them the watchers. Some people think they're our makers. I don't make those assumptions. I let you all figure that out on your own path. Okay. Number 6. Now, this one does give me absolute hope. See, kids, it's not all bad. This one does give me hope. The star children generation. Okay, this is when Pluto, where Pluto is a generational planet. Pluto is in Aquarius right now. Children born between 2025 and 2044, the Pluto and Aquarius generation will have a strong connection to the universe, a strong frequency. And they're going to work side by side with ETs. They're going to work side by side with cyborgs, robots. Some of them will be fixing them. I mean, this generation will possess genius-like qualities where they will take on humanity's challenges, making the impossible possible. Now that gives me hope, especially when you think about how old half of our Senate and our Congress are. Oh, you've got what? Chuck Grassley of a spry age of 91. We've got the other senators. One is 80, one is 81. You got Mitch Bitch McConnell, who's like got one foot in the grave. Lindsey Graham just died. All of these politicians are completely out of touch with the newer generation. They're still living in 1948. You know, that mentality, the boomer mentality. Some of them are even older than the boomers. You know, like that Chuck Grassley. He's the Pluto and Cancer generation, not the Pluto and Leo generation. Most boomers, it's Pluto and Leo. But these politicians are like completely out of touch with reality, and that there should be term limits. And I'm not trying to create ageism here. There are some politicians that are older that are very spry. I mean, Bernie Sanders, yes, he's getting up there, and it is about time for him to retire. But I think once you hit like 75, 80, it's time to go. Okay. You're not making rash decisions with a mindset for the year 2026. You're making decisions based on 1990. That's how I see it. The last prediction I'm going to get, like I said, is this. And like I said, this is only about 15% of my predictions. You can receive the rest if you want to pay as a member on Patreon for $5 a month. But I've made a TikTok about this, and I will do it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to say it with my full chest out. Donald Trump will, full chest out, I say that. You want to know what? Donald Trump is a Gemini. Gemini has Uranus and Gemini sitting right on the first house. So if you are a June-born Gemini, you now have that planet sitting on your first house of self, soul's purpose. But that's not the part that worries me. The dragon tail will be in Leo, and that's going to sit on Donald Trump's third house, the mind, the front part of the mind, the mental clarity. And if you think he's a few beers short of a six-pack now, holy shit, just wait 6-7 months down the line. I don't know how he's going to go out. It could be 25th Amendment. It could be death. It could be him being incapacitated and not being able to run a country, because the dementia is, once that dragon hits the third and the tail sits there, that's not just mental clarity issues, that's depression, that's not making good decisions, that's what is the third house? Communication, transportation, siblings, mental clarity, short trips, writing, publishing. In Leo, there's a couple of possibilities. It could mess with his head, it could mess with his heart. All I'm saying is J.D. Vance will probably take the reins, maybe for the last year of his presidency. From the 26th of this month on, for the next 18 months, you're going to see a very, very steep decline, to the point where they're not going to be able to play the Weekend at Bernie's kind of thing anymore. I've even heard people say he's cloned. I don't know how true that is, that he's a clone. And I've heard all kinds of crazy things. I sit sometimes with YouTube when I can't sleep and watch some of these people, psychics and astrologers, talk about all this crazy shit. One lady said he's a clone. And I'm like, well, we have two of them on this planet. But a lot of politicians and people in the royal family do have clones. Okay. That's very common. Even though it seems like a foreign concept to us, in the elitist world, it's the norm, and they can spend that kind of money to get themselves cloned. So there's that. Let me go check the chatty. How are we doing here? Celtic Hex. Let's see this. I guess you can see the difference. My granddaughter said the same thing. Oh God, Lisa. See, this is why I almost started crying. It makes me cry to hear the children of tomorrow saying that. I mean, shit. It's just awful. She's married to a Jewish man. Yes. She's going to be kind of part of, or she's going to try to be part of that transition with our military and another military. So yes, I could see that. 2050, 2055, exactly. Yeah, if we keep going on this path, I mean, no, it's not good. The only kind of thing I hope happens, this is kind of, this is me getting my tinfoil hat on, but the only thing I hope happens is another life form steps in and says, hey, we're either going, a lot of, I don't know how to put this. A lot of people think that the bubonic plague was set in place by extraterrestrials to get rid of, kind of like population control. Now, unfortunately, the darker and more evil side of ET has actually taught our own government how to do that. So that does worry me. Yep, this planet will be desolate. So it is definitely something I will fight for her, for Mother Earth, but it is very, very frightening. These are, like I said, these are times that are scary, but also exciting as well. I don't know how else to put it. Um, like in conclusion here, these next 18 months will bring their challenges and their benefits, and it will be all February and August born souls that will feel this energy the strongest, along with those born with a sun, moon, ascendant, or dragon's head and tail, or in Aquarius or Leo. It will be extremely important to know your positive and negative biorhythm days. Those are the lucky and unlucky dragon days. All August and February souls, all of you, just shoot me an email or message me. Um, all of you that are born in August or February, you can receive those lucky and unlucky days. I'm usually 75 bucks. I'm giving them to you for 25. You have to be born in August or February. I don't care. You don't have to be an Aquarius or a Leo. You just have to be born in the constellation of Leo or the constellation of Aquarius. You'll get your full year of dragon lucky days and positive days for 25 bucks. Everyone else, you can get them for $33. And eventually, when I start teaching this, those of you who take my class, you will never have to pay me again for your lucky and unlucky days, because I'm going to teach you how to do it without the software. Yeah, one thing my astrology teacher did not like was that I cracked the code on that. What my astrology teacher never realized was that I'm also a witch. So now I posted on my Facebook page about how I am beginning to find doing astrology very challenging. I said this in the beginning. And on a psychological level too. I mean, I have always been taught, whether it's through Nikolai teaching me how to write astrology forecasts, or Dr. Tori, who taught me the Nostradamus method. I have always been taught to be tactful and to always give the bad news first and end with the good, because even in psychology, that's what you do. You always want to end with good news. This is just basic psychology, but there are placements and transitions that have not happened, like I said, in this lifetime, and other placements that happened back in the 1800s and the 1700s, like the American Revolution 250 years ago. Not one human or astrologer on this planet has ever experienced this energy. None of us as humans. We are in uncharted waters, kids. I mean, unless you're a vampire or a time traveler, then yeah, you've experienced it. But we're smack dab in the middle of a paradigm shift. But I think we're almost towards the end of the paradigm shift. And what you're going to see in these next 18 months is the age of Pisces and religion really dying out. You know, people are going to be more cosmically conscious, more connected to science, more connected to spirit as well. Instead of reading what the good book says and nothing but what the good book says. I mean, that's the paradigm shift. The next year and a half, the unimaginable. It'll bring the bizarre, the unexplained, the shocking, and also inventive. Think of the good stuff that Aquarius is. Inventive, diverse, rebellious, futuristic, new age, revolutionary. Remember I said that's the word I'm going to be using a lot. Revolutionary, humanitarian. I put inventive twice, sorry. Ingenuity might prevail as times get hard for many families from all walks of life. Maybe we can even put petty differences aside, but we need to find our civility again, people, before that can even begin. And I just hope there's no civil war. Um, I was talking to some of you ladies that are in the chat in our WhatsApp about politicians, third party, and I think this is the year of change in a lot of ways. Those of you who have been following me a long, long time, I said this 5 years ago. I said once that dragon moves into an Aquarius, Leo tail, it is going to be a conservative's nightmare. Capricorn energy, because we were in Pluto and Capricorn just up until what, 2022, 2023. Very Saturnian, very conservative. Capricorn is technically the sign. Not all Capricorns are conservative. Moving into Aquarius, that is radical, that is rebellious. Aquarius likes to shock and awe you. However, to end this, I'm just going to say this. Expect to hear about massive earthquakes over 6.0, volcanic eruptions. Mother Earth stretches herself in ways we have never seen before. War is imminent as more and more countries deal with the Middle East fallout. This is also where the Leo tail will bring more exposure and evidence to sex trafficking, and also the possibility of the Gen Z and the Generation A generation losing their lives in a rich man's war. However, with the bad comes the good, and I do foresee an uprising from those younger generations taking a stand and telling the government to piss off. Even my own daughters were like, "Oh, we're going to be in Leavenworth. It's cell block B." Just like, oh my God. I have a Leo and an Aries, and they're very dramatic, okay? But yeah, she was saying, "I'm not going to war. I'm going to Leavenworth." Just like, oh shit. Anyway, however, this generation, Gen Z, Gen A, this isn't your grandpa's generation or your grandpa's war. And times have changed along with technology. A revolution is brewing along with a world war, a civil war, and even possibly a revolution. There is the possibility of a triple trifecta of crazy headed for the world. I do believe that camaraderie and of brotherhood will prevail eventually, because we will all be in it together. I don't give a rat's ass whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or the Green Party or this party. We're all in it together. So you better start dealing with your fellow man and showing some kindness and compassion, because the longer we stay divided, the easier it's going to be for other countries to infiltrate into our country. And I'm sorry, all of my relatives who've gone to war, my uncle, my father, a couple of cousins, you know, they released my dad and my uncle. They're probably rolling in their graves right now for what is going on with the military. So remember this: we are stronger together than divided. Now, there are some people you don't want to be friends with, and I get it. I don't have time. One thing I don't have time for is a racist and a bigot. If you're none of those and you're just an asshole, I could deal with you. Okay? But what I won't deal with is a bigot and a racist. But that's pretty much sums up the next dragon's energy. Like I said, I have all the predictions, 37 of them on my not my website, on my Patreon. My daughter's trying to get my grand Wendy. Yes, she does this. Yep. If we don't start making changes, and we really good to need off-world help. Yes, we have to make changes. That's it. Change. We need change. Um, it is exciting. It's scary, but it's exciting. I'm trying to have faith. Okay, I'm trying to have faith. It's hard, but I'm trying. Okay. Hey, Leslie, good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it. Um, Before I end, since I have so many of you in here, I don't have my tarot with me at the moment, but I do have the oracle cards close by. And so, would you like me to pull you guys an oracle card? Like I said, I haven't memorized these like I have some of the tarot, but I should have had my tarot closer. But I'm going to pull a card to see what. Okay, Leslie, I'll get you. I'm going to pull a card to see what this dragon has for the world at large, what the message from Spirit says about it. So for the world at large, what message do you have, Spirit, with this next universal dragon moving into an Aquarius Leo tail? And these cards have archangels on them. So this is the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. It's in reverse. Sorry, that's a nasty glare. I'll turn it upright so you can get a good look at the card. And this is card 38, but it's in reverse. So fourth chakra. So fourth chakra. This is about, okay, this is a perfect card. This is about love, compassion, and self-acceptance. Love is Leo. Compassion is Aquarius. And self-acceptance is Aquarius as well. It could be Leo too. Leo, a lot of Leos have a lot of self-acceptance. This card reversed indicates some blocks in the flow of your heart center. So this is for us as Americans and for the world at large. Our heart is being blocked right now. Not all of us, but some of us. It's a grief of a broken heart lingering from a long past events, whether it's recent or not, just the blocked energy that stops you from caring. It could be something that happened yesterday. It could be something that happened 5 years ago. It is a time to heal the old stuck stuff and move on. Don't bypass the pain and pretend it doesn't exist. So this card, very appropriate. I know not everyone's into the archangels. I didn't create the deck. It was actually gifted to me, and everybody loves it. So, all right, Leslie, you are first. Let's see, what messages does have? Okay, what makes this a couple of weeks ago when I was on here? Did you get this last time? The Thinking Woman in reverse. Thinking Woman. Did you get that the last time, Leslie? My memory's not all that great, but for some reason, I swear I could have pulled that card for you before. Okay, Leslie, the Thinking Woman. It's female of wisdom and understanding. When it is in reverse, it's representing a difficult time with your own personal growth. You may be feeling confused about your personal path or purpose, or you're even like disconnected from something. Look within and open up to your own inner guidance. Trust your intuition about what you need to learn in order to move on and progress forward. The Thinking Woman reversed could also indicate a woman who is misleading you or giving you misinformation of some sort. So there could be some woman in the background being manipulative. It does represent a manipulative woman too, if that's the case. So I hope that resonates with you. Be aware and set boundaries. Saturn going retrograde on the 26th. It's all about setting boundaries. I don't know why everyone freaked out on TikTok about Saturn going retrograde. I'm like, I kind of sat there going, what the hell? Why are we making such a big deal about this? I, I'm sorry. You all should be more worried about the dragon shifting, not Saturn going retrograde. Maybe it's because I'm Capricorn. I can handle Saturn. Saturn's been with me since birth. But be aware and set boundaries, Leslie. Remember, your own spirit is always your best guide. Blessed be, honey. You got this. Anybody else? You are so welcome, Leslie. I think I saw Lisa up here. Where is it? Sure. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Am I still going? Am I still broadcasting? I'm getting some bizarre message. More than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the primary and the one stream. I don't know what that means. Yeah. My cards are all messed up. Let me just get a good shuffle on them. You're welcome, Leslie. I hope you have a great weekend. All right, what message do we have for Yaya? Yaya, you've got the thinking man. I am cutting out. I'm cutting out. I wonder why. I have this thing up. It says error. One or more ingestions is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the primary ingestion and one stream to ... It doesn't tell me the rest. Yaya, if you can't hear this, I will go into the WhatsApp and explain it to you when I get off this. But you got the thinking man, number 46. Thinking man. Male of wisdom and understanding. It is, you drew it upright. So this card shows a man standing before the archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand. He is thoughtful and reflective, representing the potential presence of a teacher. Oh, hold it up, Linda. A presence of a teacher in your life. The man may also be a love interest coming your way. Maybe it's the hubby. Is he a thinking man? Could be the hubby. Learn what you can. A new discipline, technique, or course of study or healing practice could change your life forever. So maybe it's the class we're in together. It's definitely changed my life for the better. If I'm cutting out, Yaya, I will explain that some more. Just let me know. I'll keep it here and we'll chat in a little bit. All of you that tuned in, thank you. I'm sorry. I have a feeling I'm cutting out because of the stuff I said. Because we're not the land of the free anymore. That's probably why. Because I've said way too much. Anyway, that is your dragon report for the rest of 2026, all of 2027, and the first 3 months of 2028. I wish you all, remember, we are stronger together. I wish you all a great weekend. Bless you and be safe, okay? Once again, very, very sorry. He is the thinking man. If you didn't hear it all, I'll explain it to you some more, but that's probably him. That's the hubby. Oh, bless you too. You guys have a great evening. And like I said, I'm going to try and start getting on here every Friday. I couldn't do it last Friday. I will get around to the Trump Kids charts, but I've got a couple of readings I've got to finish. I've got some bartering on TikTok, like swapping a reading. Like I have an altar box being made right now of Hecate, and I did a trade. I'll do your astrology reading if you make me an altar box. So that's what I'm doing. So I do have a reading to work on. All of you out there, have a great evening. Ciao.